we got our last 12 o'clock game, guys. We got Western Kentucky, which sits at 2-0, traveling to Indiana, which is also 2-0. Indiana favored by 6.5 points on the Big Ten Network. And I think what's kind of interesting about this game is the Hoosiers are a kind of football team. I don't know what to think of them. Because they trailed at halftime against Idaho. But Idaho put up a good fight against Washington State. Washington State beat Wisconsin. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think of Indiana. They could be good. They could be freaking horrible. I have learned nothing through 2 weeks of watching this football team. I have learned the Western Kentucky, the last eligible Conference USA team for a playoff spot. I likely will not be talking about Conference USA and Sunbelt. Not Sunbelt. Conference USA and MAC action heading into next week. It looks like we only have one of each of those teams. And unless one of them pulls off an upset, the Hilltoppers or the Rockets, Rockets would be a pretty massive upset, and I'll touch on that game later on. I'm not going to be talking about either of these football teams. Austin Reed, the transfer from UWF, has gone 42 of 65 to start the year. Threw for 551 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and has had a 64.6% completion percentage. Davian Irvin Poindexter has had 24 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown, and Dawood Davis had 11 catches for 202 yards and a touchdown. Connor Bazelak, the quarterback for Indiana, went 44 at 81, threw for 527 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and had a 54.3% completion percentage. Sean Shivers on the ground has had 35 carries for 183 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Cam Camper, I hardly know her, has had 15 catches for 199 yards. Indiana's 4-0 against Western Kentucky all time. The last game was very close between the two. 33-31 was the final score. Indiana eking out a victory over the Hilltoppers last year. Hilltoppers have a brand new QB. They do. Last year they had Bailey Zappi, and Bailey Zappi obviously ended up going in the draft. He was a good QB. Austin Reed is a downgrade. I hate to say it. As a UWF fan, I'm really a fan of Austin Reed. He's a downgrade over Bailey Zappi. Indiana's quarterback situation is very confusing, to say the very least. Sorry. Connor Bazelak is fine. He has not wowed me in any respect. And if Indiana's going to win football games, it's going to be on their defense. It's not going to be on their offense. Sorry. Just the way it is. They're not going to win a match where they throw for 300, 400 yards. It's just not going to happen. So the only way you can win football games is close, low-scoring football games, which just follow Iowa's strategy. Apparently that somehow works. But Indiana's good. They're a good football team. They're decent. I don't know if I would describe them as good. Never mind. I take it back. They're not good. They're decent. It's going to be interesting to watch. Western Kentucky is a solid enough football team that they obviously 6.5 point spread, only 6.5 point favorites is Indiana. Take an upset. I think Indiana does end up winning this one, and I think they win a bit more than 6.5.